The international break is finally over and Rangers are set to be back in action this Saturday as they travel to Dens Park to face Dundee in what Rangers fans will hope will lead to a solid result for the Light Blues. However, in today's video, we have some huge news as Rangers have potentially been hit with a huge blow ahead of the game. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, interim Rangers head coach Barry Ferguson says Nicholas Raskin can reach the highest level if he maintains consistency and learns from his international colleagues. The midfielder has returned to Glasgow ahead of his team's trip to face Dundee in the Scottish Premiership on Saturday. Raskin was recently away on international duty with Belgium and featured in the second leg of their UEFA Nations League A playoff with Ukraine. The 24-year-old stood out and gained widespread plaudits for his performance, with Ferguson outlining his room for further growth. Nico Raskin has potential to play at the highest level, he said. His best years are still in front of him. He has been top class for me, but he needs to make sure he continues that and continues to produce performances. It is important Nico Raskin learns from his teammates in the international side. He's got people around him that will continue to drive him on. He needs to have the drive and determination to produce this level of performance week in and week out. Raskin produced a man-of-the-match performance in Rangers' 3-2 win over Celtic at Parkhead just before the international break. He opened the scoring with a fine header early doors before setting up Mohamed Diomande, who then put the visitors 2-0 up. After carrying his form into the international scene, Raskin will be keen to pick up from where he left off at Rangers when they travel to face Dundee in the Scottish Premiership on Saturday evening. Now in a huge blow ahead of Rangers' clash with Dundee, interim Rangers head coach Barry Ferguson says he is unsure which of his players will be fit to face Dundee on Saturday. Ferguson takes his side to Dens Park off the back of an impressive 3-2 victory over Celtic just before the international break. Several of Rangers' players have since been away representing their countries, such as Nicholas Raskin, who stood out for Belgium, and Václav Černý, who netted for Czechia in a 4-0 win for his nation over Gibraltar. It remains to be seen who Ferguson will have available for Saturday night's trip to Dundee, given there remains one more day of training before the match. The players have put a lot in over the past few weeks, so it was good for them to get a breather, but it's good to have them all back in, he said. We are looking forward to the final stages of the season. I won't know until tomorrow in terms of injuries, and if they don't train, then they won't be a part of the squad. We will make a decision after that point. The guys who weren't on international duty did a lot of work, and it was enjoyable putting plans in place with them, whether it be different formations or a different approach. It was a good working week, which is the most important thing for me. Kickoff for Rangers on Saturday is at the rather unusual time of 5:30 p.m. With it uncertain who will be available for the clash, fans will wait anxiously in hopes that nobody of significant note will be missing for the fixture. In other news, interim Rangers head coach Barry Ferguson would love the club to sign Václav Černý permanently. The winger has lit it up since joining the Ibrox side on loan from Wolfsburg last summer. Černý has scored 17 goals in 44 appearances for Rangers this season, assisting a further 7 along the way. He has been a continual standout and battled through the pain barrier in the latter stages of his side's Europa League last 16 tie with Fenerbahce a few weeks ago. Addressing the winger's long-term future, Ferguson made clear his feelings on a permanent move. Černý has been outstanding since I have come in, he said. I have asked him to do things that may not previously have been a part of his game. He is a difference maker and his work without the ball has been excellent. I would love to see him stay at the club. The 27-year-old scored for Czechia over the international break in a comfortable 4-0 win over Gibraltar. It comes after he made headlines in Rangers' 3-2 win over Celtic at Parkhead for squirting water at sections of the home support. Černý will look to catch the eye with his performance this weekend when Rangers travel to face Dundee at Dens Park, aiming to make it back-to-back Scottish Premiership triumphs. Finally, Rangers are reportedly plotting an audacious move to lure embattled RB Leipzig boss Marco Rose to Ibrox, sources have claimed. With the club eyeing elite managerial talent for the upcoming summer, Rose has emerged as a key target in their strategic search for a high-caliber leader. Given the club's stature, ambitions, and the potential arrival of new owners, Rangers are prepared to explore significant managerial changes if opportunities arise. Prospective new owners, 49ers Enterprises, who have substantial connections with the Red Bull Football Group, are rumoured to be keen on leveraging their relationship with the brand, which also holds investments in Leeds United. These ties could facilitate the approach for Rose, whose reputation as a top-level manager would align with the club's ambitions. However, despite these potential advantages, well-placed insiders have cautioned that securing Rose's services could prove challenging. The German tactician may hesitate to commit to Rangers, particularly if his dismissal from Leipzig leads to other attractive offers across Europe. Marco Rose's current position at Leipzig remains under scrutiny, with his side sitting 5th in the Bundesliga, and reports emerging that the club is targeting Crystal Palace's Oliver Glasner as his potential successor. This managerial merry-go-round has opened the door for speculation, but it's clear that Rangers are keeping their options open. Former Aberdeen CEO Keith Wyness even hinted that the Glasgow Giants are keen on appointing a big-name manager, despite talk that Barry Ferguson, currently serving as interim boss, could be handed the role permanently. Ferguson, a Rangers legend, initially stepped into the role after the departure of Philippe Clement and was expected to hand over the reins at the end of the season. However, his recent success, including an emphatic victory over Celtic at Parkhead and a memorable Europa League win against Fenerbahce, has positioned him as a serious contender for the job on a more permanent basis. In addition to Rose and Ferguson, other high-profile names such as Jose Mourinho, Rafa Benitez, and even Steven Gerrard have been linked to the Rangers post. This widespread interest illustrates the club's determination to land a marquee manager who can propel them back to domestic dominance and European relevance. Behind the scenes, it was revealed in February that 49ers Enterprises plan to be methodical in their search for the next permanent manager. The prospective new owners are focused on making a calculated long-term appointment rather than rushing into a hasty decision. Their influence on Rangers could also provide the club with significant financial muscle. Recent reports suggest that the 49ers could inject up to £20 to £25 million into the transfer market this summer, allowing the new manager to rebuild and strengthen the squad. Champions League qualification, either through the Europa League or the league next season, remains a priority for Rangers, as the financial rewards could further enhance the club's resources. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.